today, but the number of used cars being sold is also up dramatically. Actually, used car sales are up 11% in January, year on year. George Meehan is the CEO at Auto Trader SA. George, good evening. I mean, by any measure, this is a big increase, 11% year on year. Do you see increases like this very often?
Hi, Stephen, and really good to be on your show again. Yes, we do from time to time. I think there is this shift in the consumer market to consumer pragmatism, and we can see it in the types of vehicles that they're buying. So 11% is higher than normal, normal being kind of what we saw last year in single-digit territory, but we also got to juxtapose that against January. January is for many years already been the highest month on Auto Trader's platform in terms of search inquiries and sales.
So, we know that there are higher than usual levels of new cars being sold. I'm presuming most people buying a new car, even if it's a cheapish new car, that's not their first car. They're selling a second-hand car along the way. One thing is leading to another, right? If we see an increase in new car sales, you would kind of expect used car sales to go up too.
Yes, for every new car, well, I wouldn't say for every new car that is bought or sold by a seller, there is a used car being traded in. I'd say that is probably, 80% of stats are made up on the spot, and I'd say 80% of cars are traded for a car that's being sold. So I think you're absolutely right, but in the Pareto principle, that is accurate. There are new entrants into the market, people coming out of universities, first jobs, etc. And as the employment pool grows in the country, so that kind of creates opportunity for first-time buyers as well. But I think you're spot on. In the vast majority of cases, there is a car being traded every time a car is bought.
Cheaper in Chinese and Indian cars are dominating the new car market. Who's dominating the used car market? Doesn't seem to have changed that much.
No, so the Chinese second-hand vehicle market has not yet established itself. I'd say that'll take maybe the balance of this year for all of those new Chinese vehicles that have come through the new car channels to get to the second-hand market, and then we'll see some buoyancy in Chinese vehicles in the second-hand market. But at the moment, the traditional Suzuki Swifts, VW Polos, BMW 3 Series, Ford Ranger, Toyota Hilux, those are still in the top 10 used vehicles traded.
It's so interesting because there'll be plenty of people who have had second-hand cars before. They'll be toying with the idea of, do I buy a new car? Many people have. Never thought I'd buy a new car in my life. I'm going to go and buy one now because I can afford it. Or do you buy a more established brand? Bluntly, do you buy a newer Chinese brand, which is new? Or do you buy an older Toyota, which I know dominated sales again? How do you see that kind of choice playing out in the market? Lots of people will be having this conversation over a braai.
Absolutely, but the numbers speak for themselves. So approximately 1.5 to 2 times the number of used cars are traded versus new. And that fluctuates anywhere between 1.5 and 2.5, depending on where the economy is. But the used car market is a lot more buoyant, and there's a lot more vehicles traded in the used car market than there are in the new car market. And we see that around the world, in all first world countries, in Europe, in the UK, and in America. A used car usually trumps new car by a factor of anywhere between 1.5 and sometimes 3, depending on where the economy is. What we're seeing at the moment is that there's an easing in interest rates. Fuel costs have to remain low in order for people to drive cars, obviously. But NEVs are showing their strength and their might, particularly the Toyota Corolla Cross. So used cars are always more dominant in terms of sales and volumes than new cars are.
George McNamee, thanks very much indeed. The CEO at Auto Trader SA, 20 minutes after 6.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes.